Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about plays in the crypto and equity markets right now, BitMine Immersion Technologies, ticker symbol BMNR. This company isn't just dabbling in crypto, it's accumulating Ethereum at a scale, with over 3.4 million Ethereum now in its treasury. BitMine might just be positioning itself as the biggest corporate Ethereum holder on the planet. So the true question is, should you be a buyer at these levels? And if so, where can the stock price goes from here? Without further ado, let's start the analysis. BitMine Immersion Technologies, or BMNR, has made waves this year with its aggressive Ethereum Treasury strategy. The company has stated that it wants to control up to 5% of the total supply, and as of early November 2025, they already secured around 2.8%. That's a staggering 3.4 million Ethereum tokens. Their total crypto and cash holdings now top $13.7 billion, making BitMine a major player not only in crypto, but also in traditional markets. Now, one of the biggest confidence signals came from ARK Invest, led by Cathie Wood. Despite a dip in BMNR's share price last month, ARK doubled down, buying more shares at lower prices. That kind of move usually indicates strong institutional conviction in the company's long-term strategy. BitMine's management also acknowledged the October crypto liquidation event that rattled the markets, but they expected a strong Q4 rebound, historically a bullish season for both crypto and equities. Now, of course, this kind of exposure to Ethereum comes with big risks. BitMine's performance is closely tied to Ethereum's price. When Ethereum rises, BMNR often rallies, but when Ethereum sells off, BMNR tends to get hit even harder. The company also currently operates with negative PE ratio, which means it's not yet profitable. That's not unusual for growth-focused tech or blockchain firms, but it does mean investors are betting on the future, not the present. Still, with high liquidity and institutional support, BitMine remains a stock that traders and long-term investors alike are watching very closely. So let's take a look at the chart and analyze this name even further. Now that we are on a daily chart of BMNR, we can see the extreme volatility that this name has seen over the past couple of trading sessions. Before the earnings here, the stock was trading at around $4.52 per share, but we reached a high of around $164, seeing a return of 3,000%, which is overall outstanding in a name that is very volatile here. Now, the stock did sell off. We found this high, and the only time we bounced and the extreme level of support was the 50 EMA here that we see on my chart here. We not only bounced from it, we saw a bounce, we pulled back to it another time, and again here, so an average of around 3 times here. But the most recent price action here of around the 29th of October, we broke below that key area of support, which is a key psychological zone for those buyers that are involved. Now, we are seeing here that the stock is holding barely the 200 EMA, and there's some very important psychological zone here, which I believe is where the buyers are going to be found. We have two main reasons for that argument. First of all, we have the 200 EMA at this level, as well as the first bounce that we saw after this extreme sell-off, which was at this zone here of $31. So I believe that this general zone here has a lot of price memory and a lot of buyers here that are just looking to get into this name again at a very important discount here, especially. Now, the thing here is that we have to look at this name from both sides. Obviously, the short bias and the long bias here. So we'll start off with the short bias here. If the stock does not hold this level, if we do not see something like this, right, the hold, the higher low formation, the upward momentum, then I believe that if the stock fails this level here and we see that rejection, which would be something like this, and then we see like a level rejection here and then that downward decline, then I believe that this stock can be shorted here, obviously through equity or through options here, some long puts here towards this level of $21.64 and the lower level here of $13.70. Obviously, these levels are based off of important psychological zones and important support levels here. So priorly, this 21.56 was a prior high that was formed, a prior area of resistance. On this day, we gapped up straight through above it, so now this should act as level of support here. As well here, we pulled back on this level here on the 30th of June of this year towards the zone of $13.38 here, showing an extreme upside momentum here on the name. Now, we also have to acknowledge here the overall upside momentum, right? The bullish case, right? And what I really want to reiterate here is if this level does hold here, which, like I said, is the most important area I believe here that is on this name currently, we have to also acknowledge that we are below the 50 MA. And if we use an overall anchored VWAP here from this high or get the average price of entry of those short participants there, we see that the level coincides with this overall 50 MA. So this area here has a very strong sense of supply. A lot of sellers are going to be found here, and a lot of price memory is located here. So the buyers here that defend these overall general zones have to be very, very aggressive to outtake the amount of supply that is at these levels here. But if we dominantly go above those levels, then we'll see some upward momentum, and that is where the trend will finally be towards the upside. Obviously, the 50 MA will slowly start to rise as we eliminate the prior data, and then once the overall price action recuperates above this key 50 MA and above this resistance of here from the swing high that we had, or the high of around 157, then I believe the stock has levels towards price targets towards the upside of $64 and towards the levels of 157. Obviously, this does depend on the overall certainty and the dynamics here of the market, especially in this name. But we see here that this is the first level of resistance because we found like a double top here on this level and this level here. So a lot of memory here, especially from the sellers. But the buyers look that, very, very strong here. And if they hold those levels, then those would be my price targets, and especially towards my final, which is going to be here 157, the prior high here on BMNR. So is BitMine a smart Ethereum play or a speculative bet riding the crypto wave? That's for you to decide. The company's ambition to own 5% of all Ethereum could make it one of the most influential players in the crypto economy, but the volatility is something no investor should ignore. What do you think? Is BMNR the next MicroStrategy, but for Ethereum? Drop your thoughts in the comment sections below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and as always, don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.